Winifred Catherine McGovern was born August the 21st, 1915. She is named in honor of her grandmother, Winifred Ford. She is the oldest child of Jack and Isabel McGovern and was delivered at the homestead close to Scotsgard and Admiral, Saskatchewan. Winnie, in 1922, had learned how to milk the cows, separate the milk and cream, then help her dad with the outdoor chores on the farm with her sister Seal. Her brothers Joe and John will soon take over the barn and field work, so Winnie and Seal can focus on becoming seamstresses, homemakers, and educated individuals, with Isabel, who was the first teacher of Clifford School in the Clifford kitchen. The family grew to 9 children before 1934, when Winnie left home to attend Teachers College in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. It was her father Jack's dream that she would be able to become a school teacher and earn sufficient money to help educate her brothers and sisters. The dream faltered when Winnie accepted her first teaching assignment, receiving room and board from one of the taxpayers in kind, but deferring other payments until year 3 and 4 of her teaching assignment. Her first one-room school term was at Blairville School, north of Admiral, with all the grades from 1 to 10. Students taking grade 11 and 12 would be present, but on their own for their correspondence course assignments. During Winnie's term at Blairville, she was courted by Arnold Koeller, and then in the summer of 1938, they quietly traveled to Havre, Montana, and were married at a private ceremony in the Catholic Church, with Winnie's sister Seal and brother Joe as the witnesses. The depressed economy of the dirty 30s was the motivating factor of the couple's elopement. Isabel and Jack McGovern also decided to sell the Saskatchewan homestead that summer and move to a 150-acre farm at Notch Hill, British Columbia. Jerry was born in 1939 and Donna followed in 1940, during which period of time Winnie put her teaching career on hold. In 1942, the family held family council meetings to determine their strategy as a response to the war effort. It became a goal of the family to contribute to the war effort without having Arnold on the front lines in Europe. At age 28 years old, Arnold would not be at the beginning of the draft process, and as the only son of a business owner, he would be further down on the draft list. Through consultation and analysis of the family skills, it was decided that the family would move to Moose Jaw, where Arnold would work for Prairie Airways. In despite of the strategy, Arnold was drafted in 1943, and Winnie, Jerry, and Donna then moved to Notch Hill and lived with Winnie's parents. In 1945, Winnie and the family moved back to Admiral, reopening the 600-square-foot house on Hawkins Street that had 1 inch of dirt all over it from the dust storms of the 30s. The neighbors, with Grandma Etta and Pa Herman, helped Winnie with the dreadful cleaning job, as Arnold was still overseas. Arnold returned home for Christmas 1946, and Everett was born in December of 1947. The winter of 47 had so much snow that the family could not trust the roads being open on Winnie's due date, so she took the train to Shaunavon and stayed with friends awaiting her due date. In 1950, Marvin McCann made an appeal for Winnie to substitute teach for 2 weeks at Sherman School. Her assignment soon changed to be a 3-year term, and Everett was her constant companion for the years at Sherman. Everett had a sandbox at the back of the classroom, and the high school girls of the one-room schoolhouse gladly took their turns instructing him in kindergarten activities. Everett was very bored with his 3-year kindergarten term and was poorly motivated when he entered grade 1 in September 1953 in Admiral. Winnie then accepted a 6-year term in Cadillac, which came with a 30-minute commute early in the morning and late in the afternoon, 5 days per week, with her teacher friend Mary Elliott. They drove the 1947 Plymouth and later the 1953 Plymouth, as well as the more modern Ford cars that the Elliots possessed. Bill and Arnold were regularly summoned by farmers living along Highway 13 to rescue their wives, who were either stuck on a slippery, muddy hill or stuck in a snowbank between Admiral and Cadillac. On really extreme weather days, the teachers took the train, having a late arrival at school. In 1959, Winnie moved her grade 1 teaching skills to Admiral School, 2 blocks away from the little house on Hawkins Street, where she would meet third-generation children from her early enrollment at Blairville and Sherman schools. One of her early students, Linda McCann, stated, "Your mother had such an influence on my life, first as a good teacher, and then to my children, Michael and Lisa." Winnie was very highly regarded as one of the best teachers in the Shaunavon School Division. Lisa is now a teacher herself and a no-nonsense person like Winnie. In addition to Winnie being known far and wide for her early childhood teaching skills, which she was passionate about, she returned to enroll at the University of Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, during the summers of 1960 and 61. She continued with distant education towards her degree and reached her goal of a full university degree in early childhood education from the University of Regina in 1973. At age 58 years of age, she was certainly a determined senior to the others in her class, graduating in the same year as Yvette's brother Marcel and sister-in-law Linda. Her 5-foot frame was a definite advantage when she worked with her grade 1 class at tables that were only 2 feet high with tiny chairs around them. Every December, I was assigned responsibility to wrap 32 little Christmas gifts for all of her students, who she loved so much. Mrs. Koeller put a lot of effort into having a room environment that interested the children. She devised pageants and dressed the children with many themed character costumes, as well as imaginative things like Christmas trees or Easter bunnies. She was always collecting crafty little items like revel sticks, egg cartons, paper, string, all items you can find today at the dollar store, but then you had to find them as extra items of the community. Winnie also played the old-style pump organ at St. Mary's Church on Sunday and led the choir with her music and organizational skills. Her greatest asset was energy, ideas, and work that only stopped when she sat down and usually fell asleep immediately. Winnie retired with a distinguished career in 1979 at 64 years of age. She had worn her feet out during her 33 years of teaching, but she always carried herself well and dressed like a champion. Here's a poem written by Tony Tice, one of her teaching colleagues and the principal of the school. You are Winnie, the winsome child of Scotsguard pioneers. You are the lace of willow trees, the strength of ripening wheat. You are the beauty of the crocus flower in bloom and the warmth of the sunlight sky. You are the pious child, the studious teenager, the sensitive maiden, but above all, you are the gentle prairie breeze, whispering softly its message of life. You are Arnold, the golden-haired boy of Saskatchewan settlers. You are the calm of a summer's day, the wonder of the ever-changing season. You are the coolness of the Admiral streams and the tranquility of the midnight sky. You are the dutiful child, the inquisitive youth, the resolute young man. But above all, you are the changeless prairie wind, blowing steadfast, strong, and free. You are young lovers strolling hand in hand into the unknown future. You are Winifred, the desirable young teacher, the demure young bride. You are Arnold, the dashing young bachelor, the handsome young groom, pledging a life of fidelity as two hearts beat as one. You are the lilting notes of the meadowlark's song in the morn of a new dawn, but above all, you are the promised breath of a July summer, whispering vows of eternal love. You are the proud parents of your firstborn Jerry, the embodiment of dreams, the vigor of the awakening spring. You are the pleased parents of a lovely daughter Donna, the dewy petals of a prairie rose, the precious gem of the Koeller household. You are later the parents of a lively, fair-haired boy, the gifted Everett, born on a Christmas morn, a trio nurtured in wisdom and love, in faith and understanding. But above all, you are the strong reflections of mother and dad, the steadying hand of the timeless prairie. You are the ageless grandparents of a bright new generation, the loving grandpa and grandma of Dean and Dale, the strength of youth, the seeds of manhood in Michael, Rick, Craig, and Carrie. You are the bloom of a young womanhood in Maureen, Michelle, and Rosalie, and the culture and gentility in Janine and Judy. But above all, you are the balmy breeze that soothes a tearful eye or mends a broken dream. You are still the winsome Winnie, the lace of willow trees, the strength of golden grain. You are still the ageless Arnold, the serenity of the midnight sky, the freshness of a spring day. You are the toils of yesterdays, the goal of our tomorrows, and the honored couple on this golden day. But above all, you are the warm prairie wind, carrying its message of love and accomplishment. Well done, Winnie and Arnold. May God hold you in his hands.